Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the HVAC webinar hosted by TE Connectivity APL Business Unit. My name is Anita Costamagna, and I am responsible for business development in EMEA region and channel strategy. At TE, we create a safer, sustainable, productive, and connected future serving our customers across regions in the globe and across different vertical segments, focusing our attention every day in advancing the future of transportation, in revolutionizing medical technology, in enabling global communication networks, and making factories and homes smarter thanks to our broad product portfolio. Our industrial and technological leadership has been recognized in 2022 by the Fortune. We have been listed among the world's most admired companies, as well as among the top 100 global innovators. Thanks to our 8,000 engineers working globally, we have been reached a total of 15,000 patents. And every year, approximately 20% of our sales comes from new products, from innovation. And in order to reach that goal, we invest around $700 million every year in engineering, in research, and in development. But let's come to the purpose of today's webinar, and let's dig into the HVAC market, starting from taking a look to trends that we have been collected from our customers, from the interaction with the market, as well as from the expertise of our engineers. The HVAC market that we will be focusing on today is represented by two major buckets. The first one is the residential segment that is estimated to be worth around $52 billion in 2021. And as a major driver is foreseeing for sure high energy efficient systems. The second bucket is called global commercial HVAC market and is expected to reach around $30 billion by 2026 with a CAGR of 6%. We will be discussing today trends, needs, and challenges that come from these two different buckets, two different vertical markets that we have been sharing with our major customers in the recent years, as well as the solutions that TE is providing to those markets and developing to solve those challenges. The major market drivers that impact HVAC are listed in this slide. So they can be summarized into climatic implications, pandemic, development of infrastructure, and changing lifestyle. For what concerns climatic implications, clearly around the globe, new regulations and policies are pushing manufacturers and consumers towards the adoption of more energy efficient products to support the country's net zero strategies. Governments around the globe are promoting the usage of more efficient systems and doing that providing subsidies and tax benefits for the manufacturers and for the consumers which decide to buy more efficient applications. The impact of COVID-19 and the global pandemic has increased clearly the awareness into the consumers, but generally speaking also to the contractors, into the increased air quality and monitoring of that air quality in indoor systems, setting also new standards for the applications which require better air filtering and ventilation, air quality monitoring, and at the same time clearly keeping an eye on efficient equipments and applications. The increase in new households as well as new commercial installations, the rising spending for construction, the rapid urbanization, and the growth in disposable income have had an impact in the HVAC market, not only in the smart home systems development, but also in the commercial structures. The changing lifestyle and the increase for disposable incomes has had an impact mainly in the developed regions like Europe and North America, which are being focusing not only in an increase of demand for HVAC systems, but also into more attention to maintenance and replacement services. But what are the challenges that engineers who design HVAC systems face every day? Given the trends that we have discussed, clearly the impact of COVID-19 has increased awareness for what concerns the spread of germs into the systems and ventilations in-house and in commercial installations. So this has led to those systems upgrades in terms of sensing, in terms of air filtering and air quality monitoring. Engineers also design HVAC systems in a way that the collaboration with air quality monitoring and air purification would be affecting the proper ventilation of homes and, more than that, minimize the sources of indoor pollution. Somehow the indoor ambient and system is expected to be safer than the outdoor one. This goes together also with the harsh environment application. In fact, the real-world conditions such as dust, debris, or corrosion, or condensation and humidity have an impact and represent a great challenge for the HVAC system design. Last but not least, energy efficiency is one of the major drivers still for this type of vertical market. The safe usage of energy has a direct impact into the HVAC system design. Consumers that reduce the usage of energy coming from the utilization of HVAC system would have a direct impact in reducing pollution and consumption of energy globally, as those systems are considered to be the reason number one for energy consumption globally. But how are those challenges translated into design trends and design requirements for the systems themselves? Energy efficiency improvement and cost improvement, led by net zero targets, new regulations, are leading towards smart connectivity and greener product. The harsh environment are leading towards increased demand of sealing capabilities to prevent dust, debris, and moisture, for sure water and flammable proof products, as well as clean processes during the assembly and the production of the final applications. An increased look and need for health and safety is impacting clearly air purification, quality level of indoor air, and filtering and ventilation systems upgrade. All this has to withstand within the same application footprint than before, which is implying an increased amount of feature in the same space that is leading, in fact, the components of the system towards a miniaturization requirement. So reliable and small components, reduced wire size for the harnesses, and at the same time, faster processing to allow the producers and the manufacturer to stay competitive in this horizon. Let's have a look into more details to the challenges that we just mentioned. Energy and cost efficiency. The major challenges here are represented by the push from the government policies and incentives that are paving the way for energy efficient HVAC technologies. So manufacturers and competitors are positioning their products to highlight their energy saving ability, and at the same time are required to develop more and more energy saving products. In order to adhere to the regulatory standards and the energy efficiency labels, the manufacturers will need to use more efficient and effective and high quality level products and components. But at the same time, consumers will still keep an eye on the prices of their application. So leveraging between high quality level, energy efficiency improvement, and cost will still be a great challenge in the next years. So any value added feature or device into HVAC system must somehow offset the cost associated with it. What is the solution? Basically, our customers are upgrading their HVAC systems towards more smart applications. They collect information on the home heating and cooling system throughout all the rooms. They integrate one to each other, they go online, they are connected, and the users normally monitor the energy savings, because if they spend more for an integrated application, they also expect to save more on the energy consumption side. So as of components which build up these systems, the expectation is clearly to have very high quality products placed at the right cost. What is TE proposing to solve these challenges? RAST Connectors, Magmate, and Amplivar. Let's have a look to them. So quality at the right cost is then one of the major drivers and challenges and questions that our customers in the HVAC systems place to us. And let's see what is one of the solutions that TE can offer to these manufacturers. Whatever subsystem that uses a magnetic wire, independently from what type of end application, that can be a fan motor, an hermetic compressor, a vacuum motor, a solenoid, a valve, or an ignition coil, used in several different applications and clearly also into HVAC system, in order to be connected to the rest of the application, has two ways. The first one is the standard soldering process. The second solution is whether an Amplivar or a Magmate connector from TE Connectivity. Soldering process normally requires pre-stripping of the magnetic wire, that can be chemical or mechanical, and then you can proceed to the soldering. However, soldering process is not applicable to aluminum magnet wire, and on top of that is a process that by design affects the mechanical and thermal characteristics of the magnetic wire, and that's why it often has quality problems and is not such a repeatable and controllable process. On the other side, the adoption of one of the TE solutions to crimp or to connect by IBC magnetic wires can overcome those problems. The usage of Amplivar and Magmate is a repeatable process, can be monitored, is always the same, and it's in fact quicker than the soldering because pre-stripping of the magnetic wire is not required. But let's go one by one. The Amplivar is in fact a splice designed with special burrs and serrations that during the crimping process of the magnetic wire, together with another magnet wire or with stranded wires on top, automatically scratches the surface of the magnet wire and removes the insulation outside. Thanks to this solution, up to 3 magnet wires can be combined. It works with both copper and aluminum wires and can combine solid or stranded lead wires together. And as I mentioned before, there's no need to pre-strip the mag wire or before the soldering. For what concerns the Magmate product family, it's a similar connection. However, it's performed with IDC, insulation displacement. In a unique operation, our automatic tools put in place the connector itself, insert it into the wire, which shape scratches the insulation because the wire lead is inserted in this little slot and the connection is performed automatically. Also in the case of the Magmate, it can be used with copper or aluminum. It is a fantastic type of connector because it delivers 4 contact points to the magnetic wire, and it can host up to 2 magnet wires of the same diameter. The process, as I mentioned, is automated, so it's very, very fast and is very repeatable. Up to 4 connectors can be placed in the same press stroke at the same time. So if you're looking for quality product, a quality process that can be repeatable and checkable at a reduced total cost of ownership, these two are the solutions for any kind of motor and electrical motor that you might have within your application. The second solution to reduce total cost and increase automation is RAST connectors. RAST connector systems from TE have both crimping and IDC versions. RAST were born in EMEA to solve and to improve the type of wiring from the original spaghetti wire to a more accurate and safer and quicker way to connect, thanks to these special connectors. They can be applied with different toolings, and TE is developing and producing and offering to its customers a wide range of RAST machines portfolio, from the hand tools to the super automatic machines. Clearly, the output is increasing according to the type of machine that is expected, and we can support our customers to choose the best combination between connectors and tooling according to the requirements that they may want. What are the major advantages of moving from a standard type of connection towards RAST? For sure, the handling. So the reduction in number of components, which is a benefit for the harness maker. And for sure, the reduction of the machine feed time, which is even more valid and even more evident as far as the harness maker decides to move from hand tools towards super automatic machines. Overall, reduction in number of components, because instead of using single connections, all the wires can be placed into a single connector, a unique connector, which is also shortening the bill of material for the customers. So it's a one-to-one cost reduction effect because of the reduction of the number of components, but it has also side benefits, such as managing a smaller bill of material. It has higher flexibility. So flexible harness concepts allow new harnesses introduction or modifications of those harnesses and interface with the subcomponents, thanks to the usage of a standard type of connector. Application equipment can also perform crossed, mixed, and very complex harnesses. And overall, the cable assembly drawings are being simplified. RAST connection systems at TE, as I said, foresee crimp and IDC version. They can be direct or indirect mount on the PC board. We have RAST 5 families up to 16 amps and RAST 2.5 up to 2 amps, together with RAST 2.5 power version, which is broadly used in HVAC system, that foresee the performance up to 6 amps. They are all flammable proof products, which means glow wire, NUL, V0 or V2. There are also versions with daisy chain options for even further simplification of products. So overall, redesign the harness, improving the automation level towards the usage and more adoption of RAST connectors would be a beneficial cost reduction for the manufacturers and for the harness makers. Let's move now to the second challenge, which is related to the harsh environment. Real-world condition and the usage and the place where HVAC systems are stored and located foresee a lot of dust, debris, corrosion, condensation, and humidity. And clearly the engineers and designers have to work to overcome those conditions to enter in contact with their application. From the components standpoint, what are the solutions? For example, IP-rated sealing capabilities to keep AC equipments clean from debris, free from moisture due to condensation, free from dust. We have glow wire tested and V0 tested components to meet flammability requirements and regulations as well. All in all, usage of products that are water and flammable proof together. It can be leading to cleaner processes and also allow rework and maintenance, especially for the sealed products, which by design can be connected and disconnected thanks to the sealing, which is something that if the solution for humidity proof and waterproof requirements would be, for example, potting, would not allow maintenance by itself. What are the products that we propose for the harsh environment requirements? Universal mate and lock connectors, signal double lock 2.5 waterproof connector, power Versalock, and heat shrinking tube. Let's have a look to them. Let's start from the top left. If you have a requirement to transmit a signal up to 3 amps, and you want a flammable proof product, glow wire approved or ULV0 approved, you can use the signal double lock connector in the sealed version. It's a wire-to-wire and wire-to-panel solution, up to 6 positions with a center line of 2.5 millimeters. It delivers a protection from water up to IP67. So it's really, really common to be used in HVAC systems, but also in lighting or any outdoor application that requires to deliver a signal and requires such a protection from water and dust. On the top right, we have the power version of the same connector. It's always IP67 as a 5 millimeter center line, and that's why it can reach up to 15 amps current. It's the power Versalock connector, always glow wire, always ULV0, wire to wire and wire to panel with several different type of configurations. It's the perfect product to manage connections that require power delivery in harsh environment to be protected from water, from dust, and that can be fixed eventually if the customer need to a panel via different types of locking mechanisms. On the bottom left, we move to the very well-known universal mate and lock. It's always a power connector with a current rating up to 19 amps. In this case, the IP rating is 57. Center line is 6.35. Wire to wire, wire to board, wire to panel version. ULV0 and V2 flammable proof with several different positions. It's a very, very flexible product. It can be available in the sealed and in the non-sealed version, and is broadly used and broadly known in the market, clearly not only for HVAC systems, but basically for any kind of application. So really flexible, really reliable in the market since several decades. If none of these solutions would fit your needs, then you can still use heat shrinking tubes on top of connectors and connections performed. You can apply an heat shrinking tube. We can help you selecting the right one, but we do have shrinking tubes that protect from flammability, that protect from water, that can definitively insulate your connection, your wire, your panels, that can be applied let me say, at the place of where the harness is made. So please contact us for more details, as we have single wall heat shrinking tubes and dual wall heat shrinking tubes that can have shrinking ratios of very different kinds, but can be the ultimate solution for mechanical protection, for visual indication, and for flammability, proofness, as well as for dust or water protection. The next challenge is represented by health and safety. It normally relies, when we talk about HVAC systems, to air quality monitoring and the impact of pandemic that has put a focus into the attention for spread of germs, air quality monitoring, etc. This as a solution into a broader use of high quality sensors that detect the air quality itself, and at the same time monitor the indoor air quality, optimizing the HVAC systems. However, health and safety is a claim that also harness makers and manufacturers and contract manufacturers always bring to our desks. Health and safety goes also together with the assembly process of the harnesses and security and safety of the operators that every day perform connections and assemble the subsystems. TE Connectivity as a solution for this as well, and always puts a constant eye and a constant investment into providing better products for what concerns the ergonomy and the operator safety. Some of those products are listed here and are ultra-fast fastons, terminals and splices, pre-insulated podlock, and of course our broad range of sensors. Let's have a look to some of these products. Pre-insulated podlock receptacle terminals are delivered to the customers, to the harness makers, already pre-insulated. It's a housing that can be flammable proof and high temperature with a receptacle already pre-assembled inside. The operator has then a larger gripping surface and is able to push the surface with his fingers with a minor impact into the ergonomy. So the line workers have an increased comfort, and of course this would end up in an increased productivity. This type of termination has also low insertion force that eases the assembly and prevents also unintended partial connection, thanks to a special click that is delivered once the connection is in place. On the other side, if customers prefer a fasten solution, we can offer ultra-fast receptacles and tabs, are designed for full mating with a variety of different tab styles, has tin-plated copper alloy terminals, and can terminate from 26 to 10 AWG solid, fused, and standard wire. And each of the assemblies is built in translucent nylon housing and is color-coded to identify the wire size. So this solution is also a kind of cost reduction, because it would prevent also visually the operator from using the wrong terminal with the wrong wire. Miniaturization is the next challenge. It goes with finding space-saving components that are still reliable, efficient, and compliant to regulations. Looking for products that highlight energy-saving ability while saving space on the circuit board, and miniaturized products that fit into the smart home upgrades. This because the increase of features and devices and benefits within the HVAC systems would still have to stay in the same space, in the same footprint for the final application. TE offers several space-saving connections and components that are compatible, speed up the developing cycle, and are quick to install, that can still have a minor impact into the production total cost. These solutions, or at least some of them, that fit HVAC systems are signal grace inertia, 250 series miniature fasten receptacles, and economy power 2.5. Let's have a look at them. Signal grace inertia connectors made to simultaneously complete the circuit and lock the connector itself. It's a small signal connector with a center line of 2 mm and a current rating of 1.5. Is ideal for mating reliability, prevents mismatching, and eliminates the need for complicated inspection processes. It has also a very ergonomic design and allows the ease of the assembly. Economy Power 2.5 is a very well-known connector. It has, as it says, a 2.5 millimeters center line and a current rating up to 4.2 amps. Offers mechanical and electrical reliability. The locking latch prevents the plug housing and headers from vibrating apart. So in case you have presence of fan or motor that vibrates, this is the perfect combination and the perfect signal connector that you could use. And as also an optional TPA, terminal position assurance, that helps ensuring the terminals sitting in place. The 250 series miniature fasten receptacles are tin-plated and brass receptacle supports that support up to 7 amps for continuous current and intermittent current up to 14 amps. It fits with very small spaces and supports as well competitive pricing, has a low insertion force and is ergonomically friendly, and it is UL recognized. Thanks to its shape, it can really ensure that the space used on top of the tab is really limited, but still the electrical connection is well performed and granted. Looking into the details of the HVAC subsystems, they have normally indoor units and outdoor units made of different subsystems. TE solutions rely into connectors, terminal and splices, heat shrinking tubes, as well as relays. And we were today listing some of the key product benefits, such as sealing that helps the ingress protection rated products, reliability that stands into high power and high operating temperatures, locking mechanisms, and vibration resistance, miniaturization that is offered by compact center line connectors and smaller construction size of terminals, simplification and cost reduction, which is coming from IDC technologies, easy of installation solution, and simplified assembly processes. Safety that stands within ergonomic design, safety standards compliancy, and insulation protection. We have prepared here a double click into the application example, and we have listed according to the different subsystems of an HVAC system or a water heater, which products normally are used into those subsystems. For example, for what concerns fans and pumps, we have seen Magnemate and Ampliver terminals, but also RAST connectors can be applied, and at the same time, fasten terminals and economy power. If you are looking to the PC board, for sure, RAST connectors are one of the major trends nowadays. You can find the relays, PCJ and PCH into our portfolio, value lock connectors as well, together with universal mate and lock, economy power, and micro mate and lock. All the sealed product families, like the Signal Double Lock and the Power Versalock, can overcome within this system the need for overmolded connectors or the need for potting. So it's a very good and competitive solution for this type of application, which have to withstand and to overcome humidity, debris, and dust. The advantages do not only rely into product offering, but we do have a very high quality level and monitoring. We have advanced testing capabilities like environmental test that is required by the HVAC systems that need to have to withstand harsh conditions both inside systems and outside systems, such as, for example, thermal shock, condensation, and humidity or reduced corrosion. So we have chambers at our labs that perform temperature and humidity tests, thermal shocks, temperature cycling, salt spray, mixed flowing gas, dust and waterproof, glow wire, and needle flame or UL V0 tests, HAS and HALT. For what concerns the electrical tests, clearly the impact of high currents and the temperature rise caused in HVAC can be a challenge to component. That's why we have several different capabilities in electrical testing, such as low-level contact resistance, dielectric withstanding voltage, or current carrying capacity, temperature rise versus current, and EMC compatibility test. For what concerns mechanical tests, clearly long-term and high-intensity operations or simply the usage in harsh environments place high demand on the durability of HVAC components. That's why we have labs with special tests for vibrations, sinusoidal or random, with certain temperature and humidity conditions. We can perform durability tests, and we have ways to monitor normal force and together with LLCR testers. So don't hesitate to contact us in case you're in need for a special test on the components and in case you really want our reports on the performances of our products. Among all the challenges that designer can have when facing a project in HVAC, we are the power behind the system. We have the solutions, we have the capabilities and can support your requirements, your needs, your challenges, and help you solving in an efficient and competitive way the major challenges that you may have in designing your application. So please download our trend paper. Please visit our website and don't hesitate to contact our teams in case you need more help and support.